Now at 6, we are tracking a winter storm rolling in for the weekend. Thunderstorms, freezing rain, sleet, and snow. I'm going to break this down for you.
Plus, it's been a rough Christmas season for an Oklahoma family evicted from their home on short notice. We'll look at what state law says about their situation. And a Southwest Missouri substitute teacher faces accusations that she had sexual contact with a student.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The new year is bringing with it nasty weather. This is KOAM News at 6. Doug Hetty joins us with a first look.
Yeah, so far this winter really has been a piece of cake. Majority of the days have been above average. We haven't had any Arctic air so far this entire winter until this weekend. We get our first Arctic blast, which is going to roll in tomorrow night. It's also going to bring thunderstorms south of Interstate 44, freezing rain through the central parts, sleet in our northern parts, and then even a little bit of snow on the backside Saturday night into Sunday. Now, we don't have to deal with any of this, at least for about 36 hours or so. For us right now, we just have some clouds kind of scooting through, but here's that main system way out across Southern California back through parts of Arizona, and that's the system that will start to affect us. It is chilly. We're into the lower 40s, but we're near our overnight low. In fact, our temperatures will start to rise a little bit as we head toward dawn. We're going to kind of hang out into the low to mid 40s, and then I think we'll warm near 50 by the time you get up in the morning, and then all the way up into the mid 60s tomorrow. So we're going to talk about all the changes here in just a bit.
See you then. A Miami family's Christmas plans were ruined this year when they say their landlord decided to evict them out of the blue. Now they're scrambling to pack up and find a place to live. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky has that story.
Denise Wyrick was getting ready to celebrate Christmas with her family when she received some heartbreaking news.
Got a knock on the door of the evening. My son answered it, my daughter, and there was a man, and he gave him this letter for me, which was an eviction notice, and my son read it and he said, "What's going on?"
It was Wyrick's landlord, who she barely knew, telling her she and her family would need to vacate their home in 2 weeks.
He says, "Well, I got evicted out of my house 2 days ago and been living in the car, and you kind of got the short straw, and this is what it is."
Now Wyrick and her family are scrambling to find a new place to live before they are evicted.
I don't know, but I've been packing frantically since I got this notice. My daughter took down the Christmas tree. She's bawling her head off. On the very day he got this notice, she went ahead and took it down because there was no point in it. Our holidays were ruined. We're not having holiday. We're not having Christmas. We're not having New Year's. We're nothing. You know, it's done.
According to Oklahoma law, if you are terminating a month-to-month lease or evicting a tenant for any other reason than breaking a lease, you must give them a 30-day notice to move. Wyrick's landlord only gave her 14.
It's not even legal, is wrong. It's kind of cruel, actually, especially when they have a child. And you know, Christmas is really for the children, and he stole her holiday. He stole her Christmas. You know, this is something she's never going to get back. And it just makes me sad. I have been looking everywhere. I've been looking in all the surrounding areas.
She tells us she's gone to the city's court clerk, who repeated the state's eviction law. Now, she says she's just looking for a place that will take her. In Miami, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
Wyrick tells us she plans to challenge this eviction with the county court. KOAM reached out to her landlord, but we have not yet received a response. A Golden City, Missouri substitute teacher faces a sex crime charge. That teacher, 22-year-old J.C. Bain Stahl. The Jasper County prosecutor charged Stahl with sexual contact with a student. Probable cause statement says the two exchanged text messages and had sex in the victim's home. You can learn more about this case on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. 2 Kansas women are dead after a fiery crash on Interstate 44 in Oklahoma. That crash happened last night. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol isn't providing much information about what led to the crash, but we do know that it killed Melanie Harper from Basehor, Kansas, and Elizabeth Craighead from Leavenworth. They were both in a pickup. The driver of a semi-truck was admitted to a Springfield hospital in what authorities describe as critical condition. COVID-19 cases are rising during the holiday season. If you think you might be sick, there are local options to get tested free of charge. The Joplin Health Department hosts a free testing clinic at the Joseph Newman Innovation Center every Thursday. The Westlake House in Pittsburgh also offers free testing. You can find other locations on your state health department website. The Carthage Chamber today said goodbye to its president. Mark Eliff is leaving the chamber after 9 years. The chamber celebrated Eliff's time with the chamber with a reception today. He says he still plans to be involved with the community he served for the past several years.
I think it's the interaction with the people and helping to take a small project and help them to see their dream fulfilled and help get them in the right direction. But hopefully I can find other ways to do that as I step into retirement.
Eliff says his retirement will involve some more fishing, golfing, and spending time with his granddaughters. Teach them to fish and golf, win-win. Still ahead, business has been good for the Branson area this holiday season, which means traffic's been bad for area commuters. And later, the Happy Snappy Art Camp getting kids ready for some wintry weather. Thousands of visitors are flocking to Branson days after Christmas, and it's creating some challenges for drivers in the vacation mecca. Reporter Madison Horner has that story.
It's been crazy. Traffic has been, there's so much. We come here kind of often, and I would say it's been the worst this time.
Erica Melber and her family are visiting from Northwest Arkansas. They've spent the last few days shopping, trying new activities, and even visited Silver Dollar City.
Silver Dollar City was completely crowded. There was like 3-hour wait lines for everything, so lots of people out enjoying the holiday.
Melber says parking hasn't been the easiest to find along the Strip or in downtown Branson.
It took us about 30 minutes, but we're okay to walk. We're not staying far from here.
She says getting from one end of the city to the other could take you
40 minutes, 45 minutes.
Chris Poulis is the owner of Spice Agent in downtown Branson. He says traffic usually slows down after Christmas, but he doesn't see that happening.
There's a lot of people out walking around today and have been for the past couple weeks.
Poulis says he thinks there are a few reasons why so many are making their way here this time of year.
The weather's been nicer. People have been able to come down and spend more time down here and stay outside and walk around more when it's not 25, 30 degrees outside. If businesses are open, then people are going to be down here.
If you want to avoid some of the congested main streets, Poulis says learning back roads can be a game changer.
If you know where you're headed and there's a shortcut you can take, it might behoove you to take it. If you're here to see the sights, then buckle in and enjoy the ride. You're not going to move very quick, but you'll see everything.
Families say one thing that's helped them when they're stuck in traffic is having small activities for their kids to do in the car to keep their minds off the long wait. That could be anything like coloring books or listening to music to pass the time. Are we there yet? Later, the Neosho girls look to claim third place at the Neosho Holiday Classic. We'll have the highlights in sports.
And we have big changes rolling in as we head toward the weekend. We're going to look at that coming up. Not bad for us today. A little bit on the chilly side, depending on where you live. Our northern counties only into the 40s, southern counties into the 60s during the afternoon. But we are watching our next storm system, which is going to start to roll in for us tomorrow evening. Showers, thunderstorms, increasing rain, freezing rain, sleet. On Saturday, we'll get an Arctic air blast, a little bit of snow Saturday night. So, of course, a mixed bag of really just about everything over the next few days. It's dark, but it is dry right now. Currently sitting at 43. Winds are pretty much calm. Humidity is at 82%. We've had some clouds kind of streaming through, but in general, it looks pretty good. Clouds will continue to increase as we go through the overnight hours. You can see this system right here, right across Southern California. That's our next wave, which is going to roll toward us as we go through the next couple days. Let's go through time for us tonight. Temperatures were pretty much at our overnight low. We'll actually start to rise a bit as we go toward dawn. So near 50, mostly cloudy skies through a good chunk of the day, but I do think we'll go into the low to mid 60s. So temperature is pretty good. 45 to start, 60 by noon, high temp of 64. It's going to be windy. Southerly winds 10 to 20. Showers, thunderstorms start to pop up as we work into the evening hours. So we're going to about 9:30. So a lot of people out and about. Not much going on north of I-44, but showers and thunderstorms south of I-44 some of those storms could be a little bit stronger too. Showers, thunderstorms continue to develop. So here's about the midnight hour. If you are going to be on the roadways after midnight, most of this is just going to be wet, but our northern counties, we're going to have freezing drizzle, so you need to watch that. And then showers and thunderstorms continue to increase. Here's 3:30 in the morning. Here in the pink, this is all freezing rain. Nevada, back toward Yates Center, Iola, Chanute, back toward Neodesha, and then it's just batch after batch. Here's 6 a.m. Let's go through the morning hours. You can see that freezing rain line now trying to work into the metro, but everybody north of that, moderate freezing rain and sleet, so it's really going to get slick, really north of Interstate 44. And then by afternoon, this will slowly start to cut off, and then we just kind of go to some freezing drizzle as we go into the afternoon hours on Saturday. So if you live south of I-44, I don't think you really have much of a worry of any slick roads. Freezing rain, probably just a glaze through the metro as you get closer toward Pittsburgh, maybe a quarter of an inch, Lamar, quarter of an inch, which is a lot of ice. So you got to watch out for that. Once you get to Nevada, over towards Chanute, it's all sleet, probably an inch of sleet, which that's a lot of sleet, but it doesn't really kind of build up on power lines, which is good news. So that's the first wave. And then the main upper level low Saturday night swings through, and this will give us some light snow showers, but I wouldn't be surprised, and this will affect everybody. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a quick half an inch to an inch of snow on Saturday night. So we got to watch that. Plus, we didn't even talk about the Arctic air. So 64 tomorrow, we'll drop into the 20s Saturday afternoon, single digits Saturday night. Plus, it's going to be windy, so wind chills below zero. High temp of only 24 on Sunday with some morning snow showers.
Yeah, I was telling Michael Hayslip I wish that 9 was Celsius, but I'm afraid it's Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
People traveling north need to be aware.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Dangerous
if you're going
roads,
north.
potentially. Thanks, Doug. Fort Scott's Happy Snappy Art and Paint Parties is doing what they do best, and that would be hosting a paint party. This one is getting folks in the mood for incoming wintry weather, assuming that's possible. For 5 days, Happy Snappy has hosted kids for its winter art camp.
Several camps during the year, during the summer, during the winter break, and the spring break. They're a week long, and we do 5 different paintings, and they build on each other so that the skills that they learn, they are learning, but we're having so much fun they hopefully don't realize that they're learning.
Happy Snappy is at 702 South National in Fort Scott. Tomorrow, a lot of us are going to make New Year's resolutions. Now, if it's like most years, and those resolutions will pretty quickly be abandoned, usually within about a month. A survey last year by one poll says people abandon resolutions in about 32 days, to be precise. But you do not have to be a statistic. There are ways to keep your New Year's resolution. According to Jenny Copeland from the Mental Health Service Hope Spring in Joplin, one way is to set a resolution that you're passionate about.
Coming from a place of, I think, caring and self-compassion is a lot more powerful for our health, and we have pretty good research on this, that if we're coming out of a place of kindness, but also joy, doing things that we enjoy and we love and are going to make us happy and feel good, those are the things that we keep around longer.
And to dig in. And
you can watch more of our resolution with Copeland on our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. Hey, a man is $100,000 richer after buying a scratcher from a Joplin truck stop. It is not you, and it is not your neighbor. The man himself is not from Joplin or anywhere in the 4 states for that matter. He's from Belvedere in Illinois. He was playing the $2 million Extreme Cash Scratchers game. The winning ticket was sold at the Pilot on Highway 42. Coming up in sports, the Pitt State women grabbed some momentum before they returned to MIAA League play, and the Neosho girls play for 3rd place at the Neosho Holiday Classic. Jacob Leonard has those highlights and more next.
Doug Hetty.
Well, tonight is championship night at the Neosho Holiday Classic. In the boys' black bracket, we have 2 local teams squaring off tonight for a tournament title. And it's a rivalry game. Tournament host Neosho Wildcats face McDonald County. That game will begin in just a few minutes at Neosho High School. We'll have the highlights from the game right here tonight at 10. Staying in the black bracket, earlier today, Lamar Tigers playing for third place against the Huntsville Eagles. Lamar falls in that one 71-60. Connor Schaff, though, nice game for the Tigers. He goes 4 for 7 from 3, finishing with 16 points. On the girls' side, the tournament host Wildcats have a shot at finishing third today. Neosho faces the Lafayette Fighting Irish this afternoon, aiming to end the tournament on a high note. The Wildcats trying to bounce back from a semifinal loss to North Kansas City last night. The first quarter, Talisha Bird, floater, and the foul. Irish open with an 8-0 run. Bird finishes with 13. Other end, Becklyn Garrett, corner 3 for Neosho. She leads the Wildcats with 12. Lafayette, though, up 11 after 1, and they would extend the lead in the second quarter. Darcy Bolin gets the steal, goes the other way, and finishes. Then Jaslyn King, right before the break, hits the 3 to send the Irish to half up double digits. To the third quarter now, Wildcats trying to climb back in the ball game. Malin Garrett scores and the foul, but Lafayette rolls the rest of the way, 51-27. The Pittsburgh State women returned from the break last night against Tabor College. The Gorillas rolled by the Blue Jays 86-53 in their final non-conference game of the season. Now, Pitt State had 5 players in double figures Wednesday night. Freshman Sydney Holmes led the way with 12 points and 7 rebounds. Fellow freshman Corinna Gerber collected her first career double-double with 10 points and 10 boards. Now Pitt State is 9-3, and the remaining 16 games on their schedule are all MIAA league games.
It's a tough league. You got to give it all 24/7. It's a big transition, from high school. You got to be focused and present all the time, and you got to, everyone can play, so you got to go out there and give it your all.
The Oklahoma Sooners finished up the football season last night. Sooners topped Oregon 47-32 in the Alamo Bowl to finish the year 11-2 overall. It was a big night on the ground for running back Kennedy Brooks. Brooks rushed for 142 yards and 3 touchdowns on just 14 carries. Quarterback Caleb Williams threw for 3 touchdowns. Oklahoma has now won back-to-back bowl games for the first time since 2011. And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
We take a moment to recognize a local veteran of both the Korean and Vietnam Wars. Bosun's mate Eldon Miller served in the U.S. Navy, received a Purple Heart. His hometown, Pittsburgh. And we are proud to salute First Class Bosun's mate Eldon Miller, a 4-state hero. Hey, pop that cork. Tomorrow marks not only New Year's Eve, but also National Champagne Day, because of course it does. Champagne is a wine known for its effervescence. You know that. It comes from fermenting the beverage, allowing the vintner to trap the CO2 in the bottle, giving the bubbly its signature fizz. Primarily, the 3 grapes used to create champagne are Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Pinot something I cannot pronounce. Champagne has a shelf life of about 310 years, depending on whether it's vintage or non-vintage. Non-vintage has a shorter shelf life. I think my producer just told me. What is that called, Jake? Pinot? Oh, 3 to 10 years, he tells me, is the shelf life. So don't be getting that 310 years old stuff, because you should have thrown that out hundreds of years ago. Yeah. Okay. It's going to be cold.
It is. Tomorrow's going to be okay, 64, but Arctic air mass and a wintry mix for the weekend.
Final sports note.
Former Kansas City Chiefs defensive end Jared Allen is a finalist for the Hall of Fame this year.
Former Chief. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening.